Welcome back to the channel. For those that don't know me, I'm Kerry. I'm the redhead reseller. I sell across eBay, Vinted and Etsy. We're doing a typical sales update today because we are back in this chair. We have been doing alright. We're now in the middle of December. These sales are sort of end of November, and then I've got another video as well for December as well. Things are flying out. Absolutely flying out. I couldn't be happier about it. So much stock is going out that I don't even have time to buy new stock. So luckily enough, I've still got 550 odd items on my eBay, with like another 100 that is sat waiting to either be scheduled in the drafts or just in death pile that needs sorting out. But we are doing well. So we are starting this video on £18,760.39. I then went to a charity shop and did a very small charity shop for £8 worth. I then went into Go Outdoors. Now, while I was in Go Outdoors, for the Black Friday weekend, they had an offer on Brasher socks. Brashers are very, very good making hiking, and it's not a cheap make. These socks are usually about £27, I think they were, when they're not on offer. But if you were a member, they were down to £5 in the Black Friday sale. So I've bought 3 pairs because that's all they had left. So I spent £15 on socks, and I'm hoping to get about £20 each for them on eBay once they're obviously out of the sale. So that's fantastic. And then I spent £10 on bubble wrap because I am flying through bubble wrap at the moment. It's mental, but you know, at least stock's going out, so I can't complain. Right, so we have got sales across all 3 today. Not so much on Vinted, but we have still got sales going across all 3. I've had to write it all down. That's why I keep looking down. So, first sale was my other Sid Cook doll's house thing. I paid £2 for this. I sold the last one, I think, for about £93, I think it was. And this one sold for £80.74. Absolutely fantastic. These are worth looking out for. I've never found them before. I found 2 in the tip shop together. £2 each. One was open, unused, which is this one, and the other one was completely unopened. So yeah, £4 into like, what, 170, 180 quid? Fantastic. I got these Clarks for £2 and I sold them for £29.99. Men's Clark shoes and women's Clark boots seem to fly out, especially at this time of year. So I will always pick up Clarks for the £2 that they're costing me at the tip shops because they're so worth it. I've always made a minimum of 25 quid on a pair of Clarks, men or women's. This WWE figure cost me 50p, sold it for £5.99. This lamp, I bought from a local charity shop when I was still living in Southport. They had it on sale for £5, but then they had an actual sale on at the time. They do a sale every now and then across certain parts of the shop, and they had half price on all electricals. So this cost me £2.50, and I looked at it because it looks worn, so it looks older, and 2, I mean, it's a bird lamp. That sticks out, especially in these colours. So it cost me £2.50. I sold it for £130, and here it is, the most weirdest lamp I've ever bought. But it sold. I had so many watches on this. So many people send me offers, and yeah, I went for £130 in the end. They sell really well, so keep your eye out for these lamps. They're very bolo, but they're very rare. So yeah, interesting anyway. These vacuum parts I got for free on Facebook. Cost me nothing. I sold them for £10. This mug cost me 50p from the tip shop, I think. Sold it for £14.39. This Walkman really wasn't worth picking up. It was £6, but I didn't realise it had sellotape holding the section where the battery goes. So I sold it for £15. Did put that in the note and they were perfectly fine and happy, so it's sold anyway. I made some profit. These toothbrush ends were 50p, brand new in packet. Sold them for £17.99, so they're worth keeping an eye out. These Le Creuset, whatever they are, they're on here. I'd never seen them before, and they are so hard to find across anywhere, eBay, Google, everything. I couldn't find them. They cost me £1.25. I sold them for £16 quite quickly as well, actually. So yeah, they must be a little bit rare, but people are looking for them. This table, I bought the job lot that I've mentioned a few times for £10, and it filled my car. This table was in there. It had its paperwork with it, but it didn't have any like knives and forks or anything else with it. Just had its paperwork. So I've already made profit, but I've worked out that the items are probably costing me about 10p each. I sold it for £50. The guy picked it up and he was very happy, and he's even left me some really decent reviews. So 50 quid for this table, half the price, worth keeping an eye out for. This dish player cost me nothing. I sold it for £21. And these teaspoons cost me 20p, sold them for £16.99. They're from a tip shop as well. That's everything for eBay. We then move on to Vinted. So Vinted, I've got 4 sales. They're not great sales. They're like £14 for everything, but it gets rid of some stock. So I sold these 2 toys for £5. They cost me 20p for the 2 of them. Had them for a while, so I was just happy to have them gone. These clocks cost me 50p in their box from a car boot, Bolton car boot, back in August, I think. Sold them for £6. It's Vinted, there's no fees, it's fine. This mug cost me 50p. I sold it for £2. And this top was mine, and I sold it for £1. That's everything for Vinted. Vinted's got its ups and downs. Sometimes it's fantastic, other times it's not. Etsy now though. Etsy is doing well. First of all, we have this Pyrex. It cost me £1.50. I sold it for £19.99. We then have this old keyboard with the old adapter on the end of it. I bought it for £2, sold it for £14.99. This clock, I picked it up because it was really weird. I bought it from the tip shop for £2 and it sold for £39.99. Like you can see, it's a really weird clock. Canned fish clock apparently. I then bought this tin for 10p. Tins are worth keeping an eye out for. If they're cheap, buy them. If they're like Harrods, like this one is, or M&S light up ones, things like that, just buy them. It was 10p. I sold it for £14.99. This plane was 10p. I got it in a bundle, I think, and I've sold it for £11.99. Playmobil, the Playmobil is still giving. It was like 33p, and I sold it for £29.99. I've still got some of this Playmobil. I plan to do a full video once it all sells. I'm debating just bundling everything else together now. I've made some really good money on it. I then got this mug for 50p and sold it for £13.49. And this Murano glass lighter cost me £2.49 from the charity shop in Bamber Bridge, and I sold it for £64.99 altogether. Yeah, most of my Etsy stuff is going abroad. I think I've sold 2 items so far that are actually staying in the UK. Everything else has gone to America, Switzerland, Italy, Germany. So it's a very good way of getting in your GSP sales. And I've got postage set to £21 for going abroad, because I'm finding that postage is anywhere between £10 and £20.86 or something I've paid so far. So I just put it at £21, And, you know, if I've got a profit on it, I've got a profit on it. If not, at least it all sort of matches overall. So yeah, everyone's been happy to pay it. No one's questioned it. So yeah, that is my sales for this week, a couple of weeks ago now. It brings us down to £18,273.25. We're doing all right. We're nearly at the £18,000 mark already, which is fantastic. Hopefully with the rest of December we will knock that down even more. But until the next one, it's short and sweet, but please like, subscribe and comment, and I will see everyone again very soon. Bye.